Welcome to the second part of polynomial division part 1, or the B part. I named this part B so we wouldn't get confused with polynomial division part 1 and part 2. Okay, let's look at more factoring with diagrams. This is one way to do it. Tomorrow we're going to learn another way to do it with polynomial long division. So this is a build-up for polynomial long division. So here are some polynomial functions with one or more known factors. Rewrite each polynomial as a product of linear factors. Now this is key here, linear. Get down to x plus something or x minus something. No x squareds. All right. Now, they give you a diagram, a rough diagram. So you have to ask yourself, if x minus 7 is a factor, find the other factor and it has to add to this. So they start us off, x squared times x squared times x is x cubed, x squared times negative 7 is negative 7x squared. So then they give us 0. 0 minus 7 is minus 7x squared. What times x is 0? So 0 goes in here. Let's do this in another color. 0 times x is 0. 0 times negative 7 is 0. So now we're left with our 16x. Because we still had a negative 16x and 112. So let's not forget about that right there. What times x is going to give us negative 16x? Negative 16 times x is negative 16x. When we add on diagonals, we get x cubed, we get negative 7x squared, we get negative 16x. Negative 16 times negative 7 is positive 112. And we match our original polynomial. So that means that we have our factors. We have x minus 7 and x squared minus 16. Now the next step is to make these linear. So this must be broken down. And if you remember a difference of squares, you take the square root of x squared, which gives you x, and you take the square root of 16, which gives you plus 4 and minus 4. And those are our factors. This is called a difference of squares. There's no x term. So 4 minus 4 is 0, 0x term. 4 times negative 4 is negative 16. And that's how you make linear factors out of this. And this is what we've seen in the previous lessons. All right, now we have our factor as a fraction, and we have to find our original polynomial. So they start us off with 2x cubed. They start us off with 2x squared here. So what times x makes 2x squared? Well, 2x times negative 3, 2 times negative 3 over 2. Our 2's cancel out, and we're just left with negative 3x. Okay, so now we add on the diagonals. You get 2x cubed. 2 minus 3 is negative 1x squared. That matches, that matches. Now we have to ask ourselves, what adds to make negative 27? 27, and then minus this number is 3. 24. 27 minus 24 is 3. Or 24 plus 3 is 27. So our number up here is 24, but it has to be negative. Negative 24 times x is negative 24x. You add on the diagonal, giving you negative 27x. Negative 24 times negative 3 over 2. Negative 24 over 1 times negative 3 over 2. The 2's cancel out. 24 divided by 2 is negative 12. Negative 12 times negative 3 is positive 36. And now that we match our original polynomial, we know we have two factors, x minus 3 over 2, and then 2x squared plus 2x minus 24. How do I know it was plus 2x? It was no sign in front. No sign in front of a term means it's positive. Okay, now we got to factor this one. So 2x goes here, x goes there. And now we had to figure out the factors of 24 that make that. So let's try some numbers here. So I know 4 times 6 makes 24. If I do plus, I have to have more than 2. So let's try plus. Oh, no, let's try this. We're going to do trial and error method. Minus 6 plus 4. And when I distribute, I get 2x squared plus 8x minus 6x minus 24. So these are my factors. Okay, it works. And I get x minus 3 over 2, which you will never see on a standardized test. So x minus 3 over 2 equal to 0. Add 3 halves to both sides. X equals 3 halves times 2 on both sides. 2x equals 3. Subtract 3. I get 2x minus 3. So the proper way to see this is 2x minus 3, 2x minus 6, and then x plus 4. Okay, now on this one, they give us x plus 3. They give us the x plus 3, but they don't give us anything else. So we know we got to get the x cubed. So x squared times x is x cubed. X squared times 3 is 3x squared. 3x squared. Okay, now we got to get the negative 3x. So this number plus 3x is negative 3x squared. 3x squared, I'm sorry, is that. So what plus 3 gives me negative 3? Negative 6x squared. So what times x gives me negative 6x squared? Negative 6x. Negative 6x times x is negative 6x squared. So I get x cubed. Negative 6 plus 3 is negative 3x squared. Negative 6x times 3 is negative 18x. Now I got to get to 13. What plus negative 18 gets me to negative 13? Well, 5. 5 times x is 5x. 5 minus 18 is minus 13x. 5 times 3 is 15. I get my original polynomial back. So I have x plus 3 and x squared minus 6x plus 5. This is easy to factor. Both the signs are the same. If the middle term is negative, no, if the third term is positive, both signs are the same. The middle term is the sign of the larger number. So what are the factors of 5? Minus 1 and minus x minus 5. Okay, looking at this one, we're missing an x cubed term, so they put it right there. We're missing a plain x term, so they put it right there. So this one is going to be a little different. So we get x minus 2. We're going to start there. And they have to give us a second factor because we got 1 to the 4th. So this one is going to be a little tricky. So how do we get to x to the 4th? Well, x cubed makes x to the 4th. X cubed times negative 2 is negative 2x cubed. And we have to get back to our original term. So what plus negative 2 is negative 13? Well, negative 11x squared. No, I'm sorry. We don't have an x cubed term. I'm sorry. We don't have an x cubed term, so 0 goes there. 0, 0. Oh, wait. We need an x cubed term to make 0. Oh, wait. 2x squared gives us 2x cubed. 2x squared times that is negative 4x squared. 2 minus 2 is 0, so x to the 4th. And then now we need negative 13x squared. So negative 9x. Negative 9x times x is negative 9x squared. Negative 9x times negative 2 is 18x. Negative 9 plus 4 is negative 13x squared. Okay, we're getting there. 36. So we have to cancel out the x term. So that tells me that 18 goes there. 18 times x is 18x. But the sign is wrong. So I need to change this to negative 18, which gives me negative. Negative plus a negative plus the positive same number is 0. Negative 18 times negative 2 is positive 36. So I get the original polynomial back. All right, good. Now that I got the original polynomial back, they give us x plus 2 as a factor. So now I got to do the box all over again. I got x in 2. And now I have to get this one back. So what's going to match and make that one? So x squared times x is x cubed. X squared times 2 is 2x squared. Okay, I need 2x squared again here. Zero adds. Okay. I need negative 9x. Negative 9x, what gives me negative 9x? Negative 9 gives me negative 9x. Negative 9 times 2 is negative 18. Add there. So x squared minus 9. So x squared minus 9, this is a difference of squares again. So I get x equals 3 and negative 3. So my four factors are x minus 2, x plus 2, x minus 3, x plus 3. This is my answer right there. Okay, notice again. They give us a 4x to the 4th term. They give us boxes and tell us to go for broke. So I have to match x and minus 5 is my original. What makes 4x to the 4th? 4x cubed gives me 4x to the 4th. Negative 20x cubed. Now I got to go my x cubed terms. Negative 15. 5x squared. 5x cubed. Adding, I get 4x to the 4th. Negative 15x cubed. 5 times negative 5 is negative 25x squared. Okay, I checked the math, and this is my answer. The quotient goes up top, so now I got to do it again with x minus 2 and again with x plus 3. So the ones in the circles are what I'm trying to match. Here's my math again. So my final answer is 4x plus 1. They've given me 3 of the factors, and there you go.